Well, I'm joined now by former jungle campmate Christine Hamilton and editor-in-chief of Heat magazine, Lucy Cave. Now, Christine, why on earth do you think he would do this?
I have no idea, and I am getting more and more angry about it. It's not 24 hours since we first learned about this. He's doing it for self-promotion. He's got a book coming out. His ministerial career has hit the buffers. He's lost his ministerial car. He's lost his ministerial salary uplift. But what he seems to forget is that he is still a very well-paid Member of Parliament, paid for by the taxpayer to look after his constituents. And the idea that he can swan off to the jungle for a month, he's not going into the camp for a week or so he's just going to be living in five-star, apparently. He's going to be living in five-star luxury while he's being paid by us, the taxpayer, to represent his constituents. I think it's absolutely, it's shameless, it's appalling. He says, OK, let's be fair to Matt Hancock. Let's have a moment to be fair to Matt Hancock. He says, it's going to give me a chance... Yes, I'm nothing but not fair. It's going to give me a chance to talk to millions of people, far more people than... who watch what goes on in Parliament, and he's right, about my dyslexia campaign.
Has he watched this show?
Has he watched the show?
There's no way that's going to happen.
No, is ITV going to give prime time to his thoughts on dyslexia?
Or indeed on anything, pretty much?
On anything, exactly. But that's his excuse, you see. That's his shower curtain to explain why he's doing it. But I think it's deeply shocking.
Well, he's got nothing to lose, has he, Lucy? He's got nothing to lose. He's got no reputation.
Dignity?
He's got no credibility now. No reputation, some would say. So he's got... Why not?
He's got... I agree. He's got nothing... I mean, I don't disagree with some of the things you're saying, Christine, but I think, you know, it is a brilliant booking. It's, you know, it's made the front pages of all the newspapers. It's going to make a lot of people watch. And one of the best things that I saw on Twitter recently was back in, you know, in the Middle Ages, if politicians said things that you didn't agree with, you put him in the stocks. This is kind of our way of putting him in the stocks. So he is going to be voted in literally every single Bush Tucker trial. He's going to squeal, I'm sure. And I think that there will be people thinking, you know, I can sort of get my revenge on him this way.
Right.
I take your point, of course. We are. I mean, I'm not going to be voting. I'm not going to give him the satisfaction of that. But
will you be watching, though? That's the thing.
Yes, I will. I mean, that is the trouble. He is a brilliant booking because he will put vastly more bums on seats. There's always somebody that everybody has to watch.
No, that's true.
I've got to watch for him.
It was interesting, the piece that... But it is shameless. And the piece that he wrote in The Sun today, he said, I was asked to do this all over the summer. They asked me, I said no. Last week he changed his mind. Do you think he changed his mind because, everyone's saying, because of that snub by Rishi Sunak, who just ignored him, which was, you know, that's probably the way to deal with people that you're not that fond of. So he just thinks, well, again, I've got nothing to lose, so I might as well do this.
Well, I changed my mind. I was asked in the January of 2002, which is when I went in, and I said no. And they came back to me, they hadn't got their middle-aged mother hen. So then I changed my mind. He says... Again, let's be fair to Matt Hancock. He says that when he was asked, the government was in trouble and he didn't think it was right. Well, I mean, how long, honestly?
He's saying now he thinks that things are stable enough that he can do it. Oh, my goodness me.
But I think I really do. Words almost fail me about him. MPs have masses of recess. I mean, I don't think Boris Johnson should have gone swanning off to the Caribbean the other day.
That's a fair point.
He could have just gone quietly to the countryside in England somewhere if we wanted to get away from things. But it's just kicking the sand in the face of your constituents. And if I was one of his constituents, I would already be starting a recall petition. I mean, by the time he came back, he'd be fuming about that.
I don't think he believes he's going to be voted back in as an MP again anyway. So I think he thinks he's got nothing to lose. He's got a book out, which is also, everyone's been mocking the front cover of that, saying he looks like Alan Partridge. But
that's not fair on Alan Partridge. No. That's terrible. That's outrageous. Look, how do you think he's going to get on with some of the people in there? Because there's big personalities in there, isn't there?
I mean, there's undoubtedly going to be clashes. I can imagine big clashes with people like Boy George. I can't really see him getting on with Chris Moyles that well. But you know what? People have got such a low opinion of him. I think that it can only actually go up because, you know, he might actually bond with some of them. You might see a different side of him. That, you know, you never know what you're going to see when you see people in the jungle because you're completely exposed. So he obviously thinks he's got something to gain by being in there.
He has got previous, when you talk about cameras, exposing him, has he not?
Yes.
Yes, he's not very good with hidden cameras, is he?
But Lucy, you're absolutely right. You cannot hide. You might think, I'm going to go in and they won't know about this, that and the other. Under those conditions, you're really under pressure. You cannot hide what you really are. He may get on very well with people. They will forget that he was an MP. Yeah. They will forget all the terrible impositions he put on all of us during COVID. They will probably forget, unless some of them have relatives who were very ill or perhaps died.
Absolutely.
Then he's going to be in trouble.
And that is another very, very serious aspect of this.
Yeah, I think that they have every reason to be appalled at what he's doing, the people who really suffered during COVID.
No, absolutely. Can I just apologise in advance to people who are maybe having their breakfast this morning, but do you think we'll see him in the shower?
No. Well, you thought... Well, we might see him in the shower, but we won't be allowed to see his bits.
No, I don't think you want to see his bits. That will definitely put you off your breakfast. But, I mean, you've seen he's been exposing his body already in the papers. You know, he's exposing his dad bod. He's going to be... he actually doesn't look as bad as I thought he would.
Do you know, my guess is that he's going to have got his bod together. I think he's going to be looking as hunky as he possibly can. He'll have been exercising.
Not very hunky, frankly. Well, hey, OK. Do you know what? We're talking about it. This is probably... He's loving it. He's on all the front pages. We're all discussing it. We're all talking about it. And you know what? We will be watching.
We will.
That's the thing. So it's kind of worked.
Yeah. And let's just, for all those people who suffer, let's mention the dyslexia campaign, because that's what he says he's doing it for. So it will raise awareness.
Yeah. Let's see if that will happen. I'm not so sure.